Hello, everybody out in New York Nerd Show land. Two intro. So nice, we got to play it twice. I am AllThatPat, joined as always with Lord Cash in the studio. How is it going over there, Lord Cash? Because I know a word that I'd use.
Well, we are doing excellent, I think.
I'm feeling a little awesome myself.
I was getting ready to say, hey, hey, ho, ho.
We could go that way. That's true. But don't call me a hoe. Or Santa coming back.
Possibly. We're just getting ready.
Yeah. Early Christmas presents.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us, guys, on the Slam Nation show presented by New York Nerd Show. We're so happy to see you guys tonight. And if you watched Elimination Chamber last night at pay-per-view brought to you by the WWE, you already know there was quite a big event that happened at the end. We're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. But a lot of things actually happened during the show. A lot of changes occurred. A lot of things that are going to shake up the landscape in WWE as you go closer to the world. To check them out, yes. As we get closer to WrestleMania, and I got to say, everything we knew about WrestleMania, we don't know about WrestleMania anymore. Tossed out the garbage, right out the trash.
Yep, man. Like you had your map out, and like, yep, this is where we're going. We're going up I-95 and everything going good. And oh my goodness, look at that left turn right out. We just made the left turn to Albuquerque or something.
He went that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, like, even last week, what we're expecting, because I've been saying a lot as to what matches I'm anticipating for WrestleMania all throughout. And, you know, can't really spoil much, but yeah, a lot of those matches definitely changed. And speaking of the matches that changed, we actually started the night with a big change to the triple threat match that was going to involve Riddle, Keith Lee, and the United States champion Bobby Lashley. But even that got mixed up. And why did that happen, Lord Cash?
Well, so as you mentioned, we first had there was a kickoff match with Morrison. Basically, we had this match for the United States Championship against Riddle, Bobby Lashley, and Keith Lee. However, this kind of happened a couple weeks, last week, whatever, that Keith Lee kind of ran into the Hurt Business, that of Bobby Lashley. Kind of a little freight train rolled him over there, and then utilized the stepping stool and kind of just knocked him out, and pretty much saying that Bobby Lashley is here as United States champion.
Yeah, so, and that whole strategy of eliminating one of his opponents to make it a little easier, it actually ended up directly backfiring to him, because as we'll see at the end of this match right here, something's backfired to him that actually factored into the numbers game.
Yeah, so we had Ricochet, Mustafa Ali, John Morrison, and Elias having a fatal four-way to see who was going to be the number one person to take Keith Lee's spot. So they all came out. It was pretty interesting. I kind of liked it. Definitely had your numbers game with Mustafa Ali having Retribution out there. They kind of factored in a little bit, but again, it's a fatal four-way, so there's no disqualification thing going on. So
yeah, and ultimately, what ended up happening is after a lot of back and forth high action, once again, the John Morrison actually came into the picture, and he rolled up, I believe, Ali to walk away as the number one contender for Bobby Lashley's United States champion, basically joining the triple threat match with Riddle a little bit later on in the show as Elimination Chamber joined the fray, like as Elimination Chamber came on the air.
They were out there. Kind of Retribution was doing something to, I want to say Ricochet, and then in the process, John Morrison was able to sneak in and kind of roll up Mustafa Ali as he was paying attention to his group, thus allowing John Morrison to actually get the 1, 2, 3, and therefore or 4. I don't know what that was all about. But he's actually going to be taking his spot in the match later tonight in the episode for the United States title. So
I will say that last episode, Lord Cash, I mentioned how I actually like
Retribution.
Now, I came into this episode, guys, just so you know, I was pumped. I just was playing Karate Kid: The Legend Returns on Xbox. I got to the final thing, and then the show itself was really good. You know, like just what happened in Elimination Chamber. So I've got my mouth is over here, my brain's back here. I just got to catch up.
There you go. I'm
So
sure
like
you can muster it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I relish the thought.
There you go.
Do you think, though, that after Retribution basically destroyed the guy with the tattoos, Ricochet, do you think we're going to see a feud between them again? Because that was a little too long in the tooth, if you will, back in I think December.
Right. Well, I'm wondering if now you're going to have New Day and Ricochet kind of teaming up to at least add a little extra, different spice with Retribution. Because again, they've got 4 guys that you can have, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Reckoning. No. Reckoning.
Well, if Xavier Woods gets what he wants, we'd have Reckoning.
That's the best of 5. That's what he wants to still the best of 5. But I feel like there's
Slapjack, Mace.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So they have those 3. That way, you still have Ali kind of doing his coaching managerial aspect of it, and then you have New Day and Ricochet going a 3-on-3. I predict that might be something that comes down the road. I honestly hope we don't go the Ricochet kind of going 1-1-1 after all of them, because he really wasn't successful the first time around. So
no, he got his butt handed to him. It was actually it wasn't very successful at all.
At least Xavier's 2-2.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if that if that lower card feud goes anywhere. Even tonight on Monday Night Raw. But once we got to the actual pay-per-view itself, I'm trying to remember, did it start with the United States Championship match, or was it the first Elimination Chamber?
No, it was right into the SmackDown Universal Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Yeah,
so you had Cesaro, you had Daniel Bryan, you had King Corbin. You had Jey Uso and Kevin Owens all competing for a shot, and Sami Zayn. Poor Sami, don't want to fall into that conspiracy. I'm mentioning you, man. So yeah, they were fighting, and then they had the right to be able to face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship later that same night. So as you saw, Kevin Owens comes out with Sami Zayn comes out next. All the guys are kind of walking into the ring, and what's funny is even if you don't know the order of appearance, you know who's not going to be first based on who gets an entrance separately. That left us with Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan being our opening competition. Those two went at it like it's a dream match. You're just having those guys go for it. King Corbin joins in the fray too. But what did you think about this match, Lord Cash? I mean, did it live up to your hype?
I had my kind of thoughts and opinions going into the match of who I thought was going to win. And definitely it gave me a couple swerves on it. Definitely everyone in there are, what I would consider like A-list performers. Some are going to be, a higher caliber than others. You've got your Daniel Bryan, Cesaro that are possibly more up there, then I may like, and that's personal feelings, King Corbin, right. I really, not a big fan of at the moment per se. Jey Uso, he's really good. I still think he's better as a tag competitor. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are amazing as well. So whatever combination that you got was always good, because someone was going to be able to carry and uplift them to the next level. So it was always really good.
Right. Yeah, you get a lot of good technicians in there. Only 2 of the guys were former world champions. You got Owens and Daniel Bryan. So those 2 automatically stuck out as having a good shot. I actually disagree with you about Jey. He surprises me over the past 6 months. I thought he was a better tag, but that feud with his uncle really stepped it up, or his cousin. But right here, what you guys are seeing, by the way, I don't want to not include that. Jey Uso got 2 really surprising eliminations that were booked incredibly well. He eliminated Owens the former Universal Champion, because when I think it was Sami Zayn was getting taken out, he put Owens' arm inside the door of the cage and just kept destroying the arm, which allowed Jey Uso to then hit the Superfly Splash and pin him clean. Well, as clean as it can be in a Elimination Chamber match. And then he followed it up a couple minutes later by pinning Cesaro.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I said last week I anticipated Cesaro winning, but that didn't happen. But I don't think anybody else had a chance. But again, Jey Uso really surprised me in this match just because the fact he got eliminations. I did not anticipate that at all.
Right. Well, yeah, I did not anticipate him being one of the last competitors, because it was the last two were Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan.
Right.
I did not. I kind of almost thought they would kind of gang up on him, being that he is the left hand. If Paul's the right hand, then he would be the left hand of the head of the table. That now, they would almost.
Is that the spoon, or is that the fork, or is it the salad? Like what hand does what at the head of the table?
He would be the spoon, because I believe the fork and knife is on the right.
There you go.
Then again, I never went to debutante school or whatever it's called. So I don't know proper gentleman etiquette for where's the. I know there's a salad fork that goes up top, I think.
I would love if people were in attendance, I would go just to make a sign that says Jay Spoons Roman. It writes itself.
Yeah. Of course, people would be like, I don't get it.
They would have to watch our show.
Well, you'd have to almost have like the plate as Roman Reigns, and then the fork as Paul Heyman, and then the spoon have like Jey Uso on the handle.
Yeah, I think it's a T-shirt idea right there, Lord Cash.
I'm on it. And all then right. maybe Apollo Crews can be the knife. I don't know.
Well, Apollo Crews will stab you in the back.
There you go. So, but anyways, who knows what it's gonna, what the whole dynamic of that is, but overall, the first Elimination Chamber was pretty decent for you.
Yeah, I think it was good. I mean, again, it was full of surprises in a sense of, like I said, I keep sticking to the Jey Uso, but that thing that surprised me most. Everybody was eliminated like in a way that protected them. And put people over. I liked it. I mean, the follow-up title shot, I gotta say, it got me for a minute. It got me for a split second, because obviously Roman Reigns, being the head of the table, being the tribal chief, he came around and said, "I'm having this match right now." So you have Daniel Bryan, who started Elimination Chamber, went through the whole thing, came in injured and exhausted because Daniel Bryan hurt his knee, at least kayfabe-wise. Because, by the way, I loved when Cesaro did the swing with one leg on Daniel Bryan. That was a beautiful touch. So, yeah, out comes Roman. And Daniel Bryan's just like, really? All right. See, this right here, you can't appreciate it just the way it is right there. But Daniel Bryan, actually, he's catching him in the spear and turning it into the label lock, the yes lock. It was beautiful. As soon as he did that, Lord Cash, I thought it was over. Yeah. I thought we were going to see like a Goldberg Brock Lesnar surprise finish from like Survivor Series a couple years ago. I thought he had it. I thought, you know what, this is it. He's going to make him tap. But
yeah, it was a pretty it was an interesting kind of call of how that played out. Whoever won definitely was like, okay, they're not gonna take the title. Roman's gonna keep it. But surprisingly enough, when it happened and he put him in the lock, I was like, maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
But unfortunately, he was able to take the hand away, as we see here, and then pretty much just start beating the crap out of him. And just eventually give them a little power slam. I think he even got a spear on him. And then it finally just rolled him up for the 1, 2, 3. And Roman Reigns is still your undisputed heavyweight universal champion, head of the table.
Yeah, it's just like, splitting hairs, I guess, if anything. But he actually choked him out with his new guillotine lock he's been using a little
Well, that's
bit.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, he could have pinned him easily because he was like you said, he's raining down fists on him. That's for sure. But I think that he gets this like a sick pleasure out of choking the guys out. I think it's part of his character. Where he's just like, I could pin you, but no. I'm just gonna choke you out.
Well, and I feel that plays into his heel persona. If he was a face character, then the honorable thing would be to a 1-2-3.
Right.
But a lot of people who are of the heel persuasion, they definitely go the sinister route, and I think choking someone out till they are incapacitated, that's a heel move.
Yeah, and because you keep mentioning it in a way, do you think that when wrestlers go to renew their driver's license, they have an extra little bar they have to check that says heel or face? Underneath like ethnicity, gender, just like heel, face, and then other.
Well, it depends on if they're allowed to smile or not. And so probably it's part of that. Where they check for organ donor, heel or face. It's all part of that section. So it's a possibility.
Could be. I know I'm going off topic, but our boy Otis turned heel on SmackDown. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Kind of because he got counted out, did he not?
I don't know what happened. It was a really weird finish in the Mysterios versus Alpha Elite, Alpha Academy match, and yeah, the ref just called for the bell. I don't know if it's they may have gotten counted out in the ring or something, but
because I think it was Otis got tagged in, I believe, or it was vice versa, and Chad Gable did not get out of the ring.
Yeah.
So therefore, you had too many men on the field. So there was a penalty, holding, first down, repeat. Something of that caliber.
Yeah, so like we could talk about that later too, but I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking about heel and face. That really annoyed me this week. So hopefully this week they'll straighten that out and maybe he's not bad, because that would totally not make sense for his character.
I don't know. I think I might actually like that because it's kind of on par with Roman Reigns being head of the table. He is the alpha male of SmackDown. So kind of going through that Alpha Academy, you're going to want to be the top dog, whether you're eating the hot dog or not. It's, I feel like that would be kind of on part with the character that they're trying to go.
I don't know. I hope he doesn't get invited to that table because Otis is going to clean the plate.
I was going to say, the head of the table might just get scraps.
Yes.
So, anything else happen after the Universal match? Anything like that? Anything important?
Yeah, I believe it was right after. Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. But yes, of course, we had our main event for WrestleMania loosely confirmed because the man that has been really going up against everybody lately, kind of like teasing that they might become their opponent at WrestleMania, Edge. He's been like really digging into Roman Reigns more than anybody. So the fact that he chose him and pointed at the WrestleMania sign, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't really surprise me. But yeah, so it is official. Two spearheaders, two members of the Spear Club are going to be going one-on-one at WrestleMania. Hopefully Goldberg doesn't get introduced to it as well. But yeah, Edge versus Roman Reigns. I know we have some time to go, but thoughts on that match? What do you expect from that main event?
That is an interesting question. I'm trying to go back to my Zootopia days of, answering those tough questions with another question. Do I think this is going to be a good match? Yes. Yes, this is going to be a good match. Do I think Roman Reigns is going to win? That I don't know. So if I were to it's going to be a great match. Edge is he's a Hall of Famer. Roman Reigns, he's been carrying SmackDown on some level. His matches are getting better and better, in my opinion. And it's going to be a great match. And so I would imagine that since Edge is your Royal Rumble winner, and that is constitutes your main event, this is going to be the headline for Sunday the 11th. Would you
On
agree
day
with
2,
that?
you think?
I would imagine that they're probably going to have, the Raw WWE title that's gonna be your main event for the 10th. But again, since he is the headline for, with, like I said, being the Royal Rumble winner, that's the whole thing of why Roman Reigns wanted Edge, so that way Roman Reigns could be the main event.
Yeah, that's true. That plays into that storyline. And I think you're right, because I think that's going to be the strongest match. But as we're going to talk about continuing tonight, a lot of things have already changed over the last 24 hours. We still have a whole month and a half. Well, yeah, almost a month and a half before we get to Mania anyway. So with Fastlane in between, things could still happen. But I still anticipate that you're correct. I think that we're going to see the SmackDown belt as the main event. And we'll see what happens. I don't think Edge is going to pull it off. I think he's going to lose, but then be able to retire on his own terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done after Mania, personally.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, I'm good if he's not. I'm just trying to think of like the storyline. If he's not going to win the belt, he could still have that moment where Reigns leaves and like Edge is standing in front of actual people, and he'll get the whole "thank you, Edge," clap, 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 and like he just kind of bows out and then leaves. He's right in his home too. He lives in Tampa.
Right. Well, and I'm just wondering if by chance last WrestleMania, that was kind of his thing, is he was going to do Royal Rumble and do WrestleMania and then kind of retire again, per se, in front of a live studio audience. But because of, the global events that have taken place, he's kind of prolonged things out. And they've already announced that WrestleMania will have some fans in attendance.
Yeah.
That maybe this is going to give him that physical, tangible audience to actually retire in front of, to make it that much more official.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of story in these two. Again, they definitely have the more heat, because I mean, he had interactions with Drew, wasn't anything exciting. He had interactions with Finn Balor. That would be a great match. But I think this one just has marquee appeal for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is probably going to be, the one they're going to be talking about the following day. I am going to go off on a limb, and at this moment, I am going to say Edge is going to win.
Okay.
Because kind of the same way that we kind of had that thought for Goldberg, even though it didn't pan out. I don't, Edge has not held the Universal title.
True. As far as like giving him all the belts, I see what you mean about that.
That they may go that route of having, the Hall of Fame Edge, but then, almost have that part-time, all right, look, I'm going to stick around for like another 2 months, then Survivor Series or a SummerSlam, I'm sorry, he'll lose it back to Roman or whomever else they want to push at that moment.
And I do believe that Edge debuted at SummerSlam as Sable's mystery partner back in '98. Now that I think about it, so that could work itself out in a story too.
Yeah.
But then again, Edge might be wrestling for another 5 years. We don't really know. I mean, it just depends on how he's feeling and how his body's holding up and how much money WWE's willing to pay him.
And how much Beth Phoenix says, okay, you can go wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of the house.
So, because she's pretty much over on NXT right now, doing that. So he's kind of doing the whole, stay-at-home dad stuff with the girls that, it may maybe have to juggle that, work schedule of, okay, well, I'll be home, Wednesday night for NXT, and you can go do your stuff on Friday night with SmackDown.
Right.
And as long as, again, if they are, living in Tampa, everything's taking place right there in the Orlando, Tampa area. It's an easy commute. Not like they have to jump on an airplane or drive, 600 miles to their next destination.
Yeah, I bet you that's really convenient for these guys nowadays, especially if they took up, temporary residence in that Florida area.
Yeah. So,
So I think
well,
up next was the U.S. title match. Am I correct?
it was the next official match. However, there was some backstage going on that
Yeah,
I kind of wanted to address.
yeah, that's what I thought you were going at. And I totally forgot about the Edge decision because yes, this next thing is incredibly important.
If you watched Raw last week, there was some title changes happening, and that is our very own Raw superstar is now the WWE 24/7 champion, Bad Bunny. And which of course, big thing is he was the musical guest on SNL
Yep.
this past Saturday night. And I think they were live, right?
Yeah, Saturday Night Live. Yeah, they were on, and it was funny because when he wins the belt last Monday, I think I may have messaged you. Maybe we were watching it. Maybe even on the air when this happened. I don't even remember. But at first, I'm like, really? But then as soon as I realized that he's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live as a musical guest, I'm like, oh, brilliant. Because as you'll see, he did his performances and he had the 24/7 belt on him the whole time while he was singing.
Yeah,
So
I didn't snag that photo, but I did see a little bit of clip of that where he was kind of like sitting on a staircase or whatever, and it was right there at his feet. So yeah, prime real estate right there, in NBC, which of course is an affiliate with the WWE and the new partner Peacock.
yep.
So again, that's that whole synergy revolving around it. USA Network that they're all part of right now. So it was a nice little marketing strategy that they were able to incorporate on SNL this past
Yeah.
weekend.
I mean, network television. Granted, Fox is also network. So, I mean, yeah, they're definitely trying to get more eyes on the product for sure.
Yeah. So, but there was a little backstage with Bad Bunny talking to
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville, and of course, Miz kind of had a little interaction with him, and things got a little
Interaction is
physical.
correct.
So Miz pushes him, and then Bad Bunny just slaps him, turns around, and there's Damian Priest. So I'm wondering if that's going to play into anything with their rivalry going on a little bit. But yeah, it was interesting to see that with everything going on with Bad Bunny being the 24/7 champ. So how long do you think he's going to hold this belt?
Oh, man. I honestly think he's going to hold it through Mania.
Yeah.
Simply because he is so viewed on YouTube. He is a huge star. Even though we don't know much about him, he has
Right.
a really big following that they can kind of bring into the world of professional wrestling because they're always trying to get the Latin market in, and he's very hot in that right now. Also, like we just said, like his visibility on NBC with Saturday Night Live, that worked really well. And being a celebrity that actually is trying to be in the business, I don't think that they are going to have him lose the belt just yet. But maybe he's going to lose the belt in 20 minutes. Who knows?
Yeah. Technically
and
30 because that's when Raw starts.
Right. I do think that we're going to see I don't know, because everybody that's watching us right now already knows how this ends. But there was a little like tweak in the main event picture that kind of. We'll get to it. But bottom line is that my thoughts on Bad Bunny did change last night.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand like how that could be. But when it first debuted, I did not like the concept of the 24/7 title. It
Who's
probably
the first champion?
I want to say R-Truth.
No, I think it was Titus O'Neil. Yeah, because they had to run into the ring and just grab the belt. It was like I think Mick Foley just laid it on the mat. It was like, all right, go, and they just all ran in the ring and grabbed it.
Yeah, I so on Wikipedia or other internet sites, if you search for the WWE title or the WCW title, they've got the listing of who's won this title.
Right.
And I would get like, how long has the 24/7 title been around? Has it actually been a full year?
Yeah, it's been a year and a half because I think it started in September of 19 because last WrestleMania, R-Truth came in and he lost it to Rob Gronkowski.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been around for a year. And then, like I said, I think it was about 6 months prior to that.
So in the 18 months that this title has been in existence, the title change description has got to be lengthier than that of like your WWE titles.
Oh, absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
fact that R-Truth has won it 49 times according to his number. So there, I'm wondering if that actually is just truly, or if he's actually miscounted. But yeah, it's crazy.
Do you ever remember like when you were in school and like there was a challenge of being able to say all the United States presidents?
Right.
That's what we're going to have to do at some point with the 24/7 champions, because like you have celebrities in there and you had a pregnant lady in there too.
You did, Maria.
Yeah.
Which thought she was going to hold it for a little bit longer, but I'm trying to remember exactly how that actually played out, how she lost it.
I think somebody snuck
Didn't her
up.
husband take it from her?
I think so, because I'm pretty sure it was like when she was like in the stirrups or whatever, getting an exam. I think he just kind of walked. I think he was like dressed up as a doctor and just kind of put his finger on the belly. I think.
Yeah. So because I don't know if it was that or R-Truth. I would not put it past R-Truth.
R-Truth had one of my favorites. I remembered it correctly. Was I think he pinned Jinder Mahal on an airplane that was sleeping.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, there's so many like random things. I like the belt. At first, I agree it was completely stupid. But it just like it's led to so many like comedy moments.
Well, and again, the idea and philosophy, like when you actually think about what it is a YouTube title belt, because the fact that it can be defended at any point at any time, that literally they can be, it's 2 a.m. they're leaving a bar and someone could get pinned, and as long as they've got a little camera crew there, someone records it on their phone, they've got instant content to throw up onto their website. And now you've got a new segment for a Raw or SmackDown, that this title belt has changed hands, and you've got instant story. And again, celebrities that have had to have it, that have been able to take it, Doug Flutie, the guy from the radio show, Gronkowski, all these other people that have held it, that legends have held it and things of that nature. So you've got credibility and notoriety because of that thing. And quite possibly outside of Gronkowski, I think Bad Bunny is probably your highest tier that has actually held the belt to date.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that too, because yeah, just eyeballs on that particular person. Definitely.
Yeah. So, but I think he's going to hold on to it. I agree on that. Just kind of let R-Truth just kind of relax a little bit. Kind of get his, rethink his thoughts and everything. By chance, did you see that last week they announced, well, they released on the website all of the Valentine's Day cards for all the superstars?
On WWE, no. I've seen parody ones on like sites like WrestleCrap, but I have not seen the official ones.
So, you had, I believe it was like, you had Sasha Banks of like, you can always bank on me, Sami Zayn was, the way I feel for you, there's no conspiracy about it or whatever.
Right.
They kind of just playing into their characteristics. I like to bask in your glory, things of that nature. Would you like to see what R-Truth was?
Oh, I can only imagine. I know we've talked. I can imagine. Let's see.
So there's, I necessarily don't. Okay, I find it amusing the fact that they're playing to his slowness, and the fact that he's not on always at the moment. During a Royal Rumble match, he runs down to the ring, flips open the the underneath, pulls out a ladder, drops it in, climbs it up, and goes, where's the title? I'm like, this is not a ladder match, mate.
That was the best.
So in true form, because again, everyone is true to their character. It's beautiful. It's marvelous. So of course, R-Truth, all he says on his Valentine's Day is "Merry Christmas."
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm like, I'm flipping through. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Oh my gosh, no, they didn't. Merry Christmas. I'm like, that is amazing. I love it.
Oh man, that's my bad.
Basically, he's like, wait, I'm not fighting you? Okay, hold on. So, but anyways.
I still got the Cupid in the heart.
Exactly. I love it. I love R-Truth's character, which I think that persona and that character married with the 24/7 title, it's perfect for him. It's perfect. I love it.
Oh, it's the only way that belt would even like matter. I mean, like otherwise it'd just be completely dumb. At least it's supposed to be dumb. So
yeah, he what he does with his character with that belt, it's great. So
I can't get that picture out of my head now. Just a big grin. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna make that like my background at in my class or something. I don't know.
There you go. And it's right twice a year.
Yes,
it's like a broken clock.
There you go. And that's the truth.
But that's the 24/7. How about we dive into the Universal, not the Universal, the United States Championship?
I know we just spent 10 minutes on a belt that wasn't even defended.
Not this week.
Yeah.
So far.
So we did have, like I said, John Morrison won his way into this triple threat match. So it ended up being Morrison, Riddle, and Bobby Lashley, the Almighty.
Yeah. So
as has been the situation for months now. I think he's had the belt since August, which, by the way, I didn't think about it till afterwards, but he comes out to the ring, and Michael Cole and whoever the other guy was out there that was with him, as soon as Lashley walks to the ring, they have to say he is the longest reigning United States champion in WWE history. He's held the belt for 7 months or whatever. No one could beat him. Right as they said that, I'm like, he's going to lose.
Yep.
It's that jinx. And, Lashley was whooping butt still as always. You had some nice triple threat standard spots, but just look at the photos. You can just see, like, again, Lashley was dominating. Even Morrison just hanging out on the ring because he just want to get in there. But they go to the chorus line, high kicks right there. But it was a good match back and forth. And then we talked about the numbers game kind of backfiring a little bit earlier on some people, particularly with the way Morrison got in was the numbers game backfired on Retribution. Well, it actually ended up backfiring on Lashley coming up in a minute because basically what ends up happening just in general is there's a little bit of an altercation on the outside between Morrison, I believe, and MVP, takes the crutch. And then what happens is while Lashley's got Morrison in a brutal looking hurt lock, here comes Riddle with that crutch of MVP, wallops Lashley in it like it's brutal, breaks it over his back, and that allows him to get the pin on the injured John Morrison while Lashley recovers on the outside. And as you can see, he is looking awfully mad. And now you got Dorcas Maximus over there, Riddle, with the United States Championship.
Yeah, it's I'm wondering how he's going to incorporate Bro into United States.
It's probably going to be some basic like Bro United States, you know what I mean?
I was going to say he's going to be the United States champion.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now, 20 minutes from now when Raw starts, that's going to happen. That's what he's going to dub himself. There's going to be t-shirts all for it. Because again, that's marketing right there. And if they don't, hey WWE, here's what you're gonna do: United States champion. You're welcome.
Give me some money.
Exactly. I want to see that cheddar.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think of the match?
Overall, it kind of happened pretty quickly, just because of the fact that Bobby Lashley was just in there flailing people all over the place, putting them in the hurt locker. Or not the hurt locker, but the The Hurt
Yeah,
Lock.
it took a minute to register with me. Like, Hurt Locker. Is he going to wear, like, the black and white stripes next time he comes out and then give you a pair of shoes that don't fit?
Yeah, the Hurt Lock. So just kind of doing that, and the fact that you had Morrison and Riddle kind of doing some as best they could to tag team together to keep everything in line, so that way it just totally doesn't get decimated. But unfortunately, that's kind of how it is. MVP out there, having hurt his foot or whatever. I can't remember exactly how he got injured. I know it was in the triple threat or the 6-man tag against the Lucha House Party and Riddle. Overall, it was a halfway decent match. Not a big Bobby Lashley fan, so right then and there, I'm kind of turned off a little bit. My attention span is not as in depth of it. I'm excited to see what Riddle's going to do. Again, I kind of like the bro personality. And like I said, I'm calling right now the United States of America, the United States title. He's going to be the champion he is. And we'll see what kind of happens from there.
Yeah, I'd be curious where it goes from here too, because I don't know who he's going to defend against. His big program has been against Bobby Lashley for this last month or two. Maybe Keith Lee comes back from the injury and says he hasn't gotten his match. Maybe he'll go after him, or maybe Morrison will come after him because he kind of, pinned him. But I don't think Morrison has a leg to stand on this match as a rematch. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. Both like the gimmick and also the next contender, because again, we're going to look at something later, and I don't think we're going to go with certain somebody.
I'm just even though Morrison was pinned, that he's not going to be the really eligible for a rematch. You don't think?
Well, the thing is, WWE doesn't always follow anything that would be mentally logistic, or
right.
logical.
They don't go things that make sense.
No, because otherwise Matt Riddle wouldn't have been in that match. He lost so many times against Lashley, and it's like, oh, it's like a Dunkin' Donuts card. It's like you get a stamp like on your 6-1, you get one free. Apparently 6 matches with Lashley, you got one for free, whether he won or lost. So that joke registered better with me in the head, just so you know.
I get it. So we'll have to see who he actually, how soon he's going to defend it, if he's going to be a fighting champion. I would imagine he's probably going to have an open challenge, anybody but Bobby Lashley for a while, and then he's going to probably interfere a couple times, and then have a rematch at a Fastlane.
What if they did something like Cedric Alexander is always that kind of sore that keeps bugging the Hurt Locker, but he's still part. I said Hurt Locker now too. The Hurt Business. What if he gets a match and he actually wins the belt off of Riddle, and he can kind of go and say I got your belt, you know what I mean? And kind of get that little bit of a little pester he's been doing already.
I got your belt, got your nose.
Yeah. I can see that actually.
Yeah, I would. That wouldn't be a bad storyline, and then that further causes the friction within the Hurt Business.
Right.
So
a lot of opportunities for a lot of these belts and a lot of these men and women going into the WrestleMania season for sure.
Right. So there's as the field of everything that's been happening within WWE, with Fastlane as well as leading into WrestleMania, that whole thing is changed. So
right.
Who knows?
Now, probably not, but did we see the backstage segment with MVP right after this, or was it after the women's tag match?
It took place, I want to say maybe right around this time frame. Unfortunately, I get all my footage off of W.com with all their photo section. And then occasionally if there's not enough, I'll go in and I'll grab a couple of screenshots off of the main program, and that's when I wasn't able to go back to get. But yeah, we did see him MVP talking with a certain individual that has some repercussions later on.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, like as far as this part goes, yeah, basically MVP's in the back, and he's talking with the Miz, and they're just they're kind of like scheming together, just talking about something, and Miz does one of these like
interesting.
Yeah, really trying to hammer home the subtleties of what they're showing us on the screen. And it's funny. I watched that, I noticed it, and it just didn't register. I don't know why. It didn't exactly hit me across the face. Because right after that, they just go into the women's tag title match, which was Sasha and Bianca Belair, and they were tag teaming to go against the current champions, Bianca. Oh man, what's her name? Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Going into this match, I mentioned it before, and I didn't want them to bury. Okay. I didn't want them to bury the idea of having the women's champion be a tag champion as well, because that kind of hides the belt. And this story's been done to death, both on the male and female roster, where future competitors at WrestleMania magically win the tag straps going into it. I mean, Shawn and Cena did it. I know Batista and Cena did it at one point. I think Triple H and Cena did it. I don't know. It's just been done to death, bottom line.
Yeah.
And obviously Asuka and Charlotte had this recently. But the match was okay. It didn't really ever hit the high gear I was expecting out of these four. Nia Jax keeps playing up the butt. I don't know how that sounded, but either way, I think I meant to say it that way.
Right.
Because right in the beginning, like I think she fell on her butt. All I know is that Bianca Belair smacked her in the butt, and she's like, "Oh no, you didn't."
Yeah.
There's gonna be a T-shirt at some point about my hole, I'm sure.
Yeah. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, or something like that. The word "whole" is going to be in there, but instead of like being the WHOLE, it's going to be the HOLE.
Exactly. I mean, it's clever. It's clever.
So we're the whole darn package, or they don't have a moniker, a thing between Shayna and Nia Jax. They don't have some sort of thing that happens there. So who knows exactly what that could be? It's just a level of a whole new possibility.
So much packed in that one.
Yep.
So in this tag match, going back and forth, as you can see right there, he comes out and gets distracted, and that leads to Nia Jax being able to hit her Samoan drop on Sasha Banks to pin her, and the tag champs retained. Which again, oh God, I can't get over Shayna Baszler's face. It's like the Crypt Keeper, and I don't mean it to be rude. She makes herself look like this. So yeah. By saying that, it's a compliment. Unless she has a really bad makeup artist in the back, she looks like the Crypt Keeper mixed with a raccoon. I don't know. It's like,
feel like, make me look like Batman, but without a mask.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. She could probably kick my butt easily. But it just whenever I see her photos that they put on here, like, and it's like they don't attempt to make a flattering picture for her, so that throws me off. Anyway, that's a little tangent. I didn't want to go down. There's a little hole I just went down.
That's a whole other story.
But, I mean, I don't like them as a tag team, honestly, but at least they didn't go with the obvious possibility as far as the gimmick is the storyline of having the two people hold the belts. They did appear on NXT on Wednesday, by the way, Shayna and Nia, and they did get into an altercation with Dakota Kai and Rochelle Gonzalez, who had won a tag team tournament, the Dusty Cup, to be champions. So I do expect that they're going to defend those belts against them very shortly. I don't think they'll make it to Mania, but I do anticipate they're going to defend them against them. So that might be their next program feud for the women's tag titles.
Over under 50% that match will happen before Fastlane, or before Fastlane, at Fastlane. What are your thoughts?
The next NXT big show is not till WrestleMania weekend. I don't think they can hold out on this particular program till then. So I do anticipate that it's going to happen either before or at, which I know it's kind of like a mixed answer there. They're not going to make it past. They're not going to make it past Fastlane.
Right.
So they're going to have that match in the next 3 weeks.
I would almost imagine that it's going to take place on NXT within like maybe a week or two. Just kind of let them build up the storyline just a little bit more and have them go to NXT like maybe once, maybe twice more, and then have like that match.
Yeah.
And then potentially have that still building the storyline that if who was the one that won the tournament? Was that Dana Brooke and or was that Lana?
Oh, you mean on Raw? Yeah, it's true. I think it was. I think it was Lana and Naomi.
Yeah. So I think they've got one that I think they'll still build that feud up, and whether or not they win the belt over on NXT or whether or not they'll hold on to the belt and go to Fastlane against them.
Yeah, I actually think it'd be really in the best interest of the company to drop those titles ultimately to the NXT brand. There's so many more women on the NXT brand right now that could actually fight for that belt. I mean, they had it was like a 12 or 16 team tournament.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, but right of those, how many are actually actual stables of ladies, or were they just kind of hodgepodge together?
I would say there's probably at least a solid six teams that could fight for those belts, and then there's a couple that were hobbled together.
Right.
But I just think it would do much better because on Raw they're exhausted.
And I was going to say that by dropping them to NXT, you now have the opportunity, since this is a title that can get defended on all three brands.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have NXT competitors being able to go to Raw and going to SmackDown and getting that extra, stage ring rust kind of built off of them, and giving them exposure to the main two shows versus kind of, and then, get that experience, that exposure, and then maybe, drop it to another person over on NXT and give them, the chance to do this kind of the same thing and use it to build up to the main roster per se.
No, I agree completely. I think that'd be a nice move because otherwise we're going to see Charlotte and Asuka get it again. So, yeah, I mean, and now, like, obviously we've been talking about a lot of stuff, and I look at the time, we're at our actual main event.
Yep.
Our last Elimination Chamber of the night, which is involving Drew McIntyre. It was the Raw Elimination Chamber match. I don't know. I mean, it was good. It was a good, match overall. And obviously, just so you guys know, Miz did remove himself from the match at the last minute, which allowed, I don't remember who even got in it.
Kofi Kingston.
Oh, yeah, Kofi. Okay. He didn't do much in it, unfortunately. That's why I don't remember him.
Yeah, I think he got eliminated second.
Yeah. I did laugh, though, because they had the pods mic'd even more so than ever. And Kofi was talking so much trash to Randy Orton when he came in. He kept going, "You got some nice quads. You've been working out. Nice quads. Nice
quads, man. Those quads are thick, man." I loved it.
I can't believe that Orton was able to keep a straight face, and not just break. I thought that was pretty amusing.
Yeah, I love that. I kind of was listening at that time and not watching, and for a moment there I thought that we kind of lost the commentators connection, and I'm like, oh, they're trying to fix it, and so they just kind of replaced it with the pod mic, and I'm just hearing Kofi going. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I'm loving this. It's great, but oh my goodness,
what a picture that is. It just happened to be like Drew doing a pose almost while AJ was flipping in the air. It's because like he was back body dropped him. Couple shockers in this. I mean, Kofi, I didn't anticipate much from. I love the guy, but but it was like, he gets eliminated with a bro kick right to the mush. But how shocked were you that Orton got eliminated by Kofi with no fanfare. Nothing happened. He just gets rolled up and he's out of there. No Fiend, no Bliss, nothing.
Yeah, that actually surprised me because I was anticipating with the stuff that they build up on Raw, especially with the gauntlet match that they did, that he got eliminated because of the interference of Alexa Bliss. That there was no interference, there was no mention of the Fiend or nothing throughout the evening. So I was kind of surprised that actually happened.
Yeah, I wonder if like they do this at WrestleMania sometimes when something you really expect to happen on the show, and they immediately hit it with Raw the next day. I'm hoping that something happens tonight on Raw because otherwise it is a slow build. They're making us wait anxiously for the Fiend to come back because, I mean, as it is right now, I think Orton's fighting Kofi at Fastlane with the trash talk and the fact that Kofi beat him. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's probably an RKO in his future.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
I mean, maybe that's when the Fiend comes out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there's a back and forth. You know, it comes down to AJ, Sheamus, and Drew. You know, Sheamus had him. Sheamus had Drew. He hit him with the Brogue Kick, and then AJ hit him with the phenomenal forearm to basically spoil Sheamus's victory. And then it's hard to capture this, you know, without seeing it for real. But it reminded me of the Shelton Benjamin, Shawn Michaels springboard super kick on Raw back like 10 years ago. Because AJ going for the phenomenal forearm, and he gets Claymore kicked right in the face off that springboard. It looked brutal. It was an amazing timing on that, so nobody got hurt, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And so then, I mean, yeah, Drew wins, or does he?
Yeah, he was able to pin AJ Styles 1, 2, 3. So he was the match there. Of course, he had his little celebration. However, during the celebration, a little something else kind of happened. As it happened, you know, they were lifting up the mat, the Elimination Chamber, and then out of nowhere, Bobby Lashley gives him a little spear and just starts, you know, putting the hurt lock on him.
As soon as that happened, it finally clicked. I'm like, oh, that's why. And then here comes The Miz, cashing in his Money in the Bank. He goes to pin him, and he kicks out, and I'm like, oh, no. But he actually was able to do it. I've been waiting for The Miz to capture that belt again for, the better part of 13 years.
Yeah.
He is so deserving of that. You know, he's been nothing but a company guy for all these years, and what a great opportunity. You know, I noticed this time, though, he didn't put the belt upside down for the M yet.
Not yet. I'm wondering if he's going to get a because it's been a while since they've had a custom belt per se. I know, like with the new Daniel Bryan, we had the wooden one,
the eco-friendly belt. Yeah, that was cool.
So I'm wondering if they're going to do another design where it's the M, because I know he did that at least like the spinner belt. He was able just to spin it and lock it upside down.
Right.
So I just don't know if they're going to do that or if they're going to just be like, if he's just going to wear it upside down.
Right. I am so happy that The Miz won the belt. And like we alluded to in the beginning, I can't imagine anybody called this.
Yeah, no. I don't think anybody had. I think Vegas odds would have had the cash in very low.
Yeah.
So had you actually put money on it, you would have won big.
Yeah. So. I'm sure, you know, but it really throws everything into the air right now. I'm anticipating that his title reign might be quick.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that this whole thing was created with a reason that he has to give Lashley the first title shot.
Yeah.
And there's no way in hell that guy's leaving without the belt.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get the title shot tonight. And Miz ducks him for a little bit until finally he has to defend it at Fastlane. You know what I mean? And that's because I don't know though. But like, there's so many predictions to happen. I hope the Miz keeps it, but I could see Lashley going into Mania with the belt through the Miz.
Now, again, just kind of looking at the way kind of how things kind of logistically may work,
Right.
where, you know, Drew McIntyre is going to have probably a rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm wondering if
you got Sheamus, who has a rightful gripe that he pinned him on Raw, the McIntyre. He would have pinned him at the Elimination Chamber had AJ not interfered.
Well, and Drew McIntyre agreed to a title match.
Right. So you got those two in the picture, and then Lashley has to be in the picture just because of the agreement with The Miz, which I'm assuming happened, and also just the fact that McIntyre is going to want to get back at him.
Yeah.
So you got 4 guys. We might have a 4-way match at Mania. We might have a 4-way match at Fastlane. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if whether or not we're going to get that at Fastlane, and maybe, you know, maybe the Bobby Lashley, you know, sets up for The Miz and Bobby Lashley at Fastlane, and possibly, you know, Bobby Lashley wins it, and then, you know, you've got those other 2 competitors that say, I never got my title shot, I never got my rematch, and now you've got The Miz, who was going to have a rematch, that you're going to have a fatal 4-way now at WrestleMania.
And don't forget, as silly as it sounded a couple weeks ago, Bad Bunny is part of this mix. He's not going to fight for the belt, don't get me wrong, by any stretch of the imagination. But who says that he doesn't like try to get back at The Miz for things, cost him the title?
Right.
It's not. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility even with that.
Well, and that's one of the things that I'm also wondering if, because of The Miz, you know, trying to go that route, and Damian Priest kind of blocking him a little bit, if there's going to be some sort of animosity and feud building there.
Right. Well, we do appreciate everybody joining us. We don't want anybody to miss out. John Morrison is about to introduce the WWE Champion right now on TV. So make sure to join us for all of our other shows. Join us on Thursday at 8 o'clock for our latest iStream Ustream. We can check out our next preview for, that was episode 7, I believe, of WandaVision. As always, a great episode. And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch all the way through the credits, by the way. Other shows that we have on the New York Nerd Show Network include our video game night. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to either do Battlegrounds because there's a lot of new content that dropped, but I'm also on the true bad guy of Karate Kid, The Legend Continues on Xbox. Lots of stuff to look at. So I may do a little bit of both. I might just do one. Tune in tomorrow to find out. If you like, subscribe, and share all these things either on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live. You'll also get some updates throughout the week, as like whether we're doing dinner, a bit of Rich and I, a mail call, open up some crazy cards. I got a lot of cool Garbage Pail Kids lately. And then we also have we do the food reviews, and then Lord Cash, His Royal Highness, is going to be doing Funko Royalty as he goes through all of his Funko Pop collection.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get that. It's coming soon. So definitely got to pardon the pixie dust as we're getting stuff put together there.
Absolutely. So again, everybody, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Always a good time. We appreciate your viewership and your support. But again, have a great night. Go enjoy The Miz, the new WWE Champion, and see what happens and see how long you last.
There you go.
Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye now.